Broadcasting from the traditional territories of the Anishinaabe, the Wendat, the Haudenosaunee peoples, and since 1805, the treaty lands of the Mississaugas of the Credit. This is City News.
Crews head out to fill major cracks on the road before your car or your bicycle runs over one of these.
Very important spring milestone, pothole season.
The city launches its first pothole repair blitz of the year.
It's the oldest company in Canada, and now it could be days away from starting a process to liquidate. Shoppers and retail analysts reacting to news Hudson's Bay is teetering on the edge.
A colorful cast of characters takes over Toronto Comic Con.
It really does think for like your inner child to just be able to just be like a full nerd with like no consequences or like nothing that like can stop you from like doing this. Like it's like if you want to do it, just go out and do it.
The Metro Toronto Convention Centre welcomes hundreds of cosplayers for a massive celebration of pop culture.
Good evening and welcome to City News. I'm Brandon Rowe. Well, you've no doubt heard of the ballroom blitz. Well, how about a pothole blitz? The city is racing to fill the craters left behind by winter. Afia Ba has more on the repair rush.
Well, city officials call it a spring milestone, pothole season, and crews were out for 24 hours trying to fill as many of these as they can.
Once the snows kind of recede, where we really try to get the crews out doing as much pothole repair.
The shovels were out Saturday morning on Rosemount Avenue near Dufferin and St. Clair as crews scoop up asphalt and rake it into the cracked spaces on the road.
Fixing a pothole is such a small thing maybe, but it's a huge thing when you consider safety for people who are walking, cycling, whatever mobility device, or driving.
Even City Councillor Alejandra Bravo rolled up her sleeves, taking one of the tools and getting a first hand of how it's done. Tamping it down before smoothing it out. This is the repeated process for about 235 staff who are working to repair these road hazards across the city.
So we have 73 crews out there today. Normally on a pothole blitz, we have about 50 crews.
By this time last year, over 70,000 potholes were filled, but officials say last year was not the norm.
Last year was a bit of an anomaly, actually. It was a bit of an outlier because we had such mild weather last winter that we were doing pothole blitzes like this one in January.
So far this year, the city has fixed nearly 57,000 potholes, higher than average for the same period over the past 4 years. Over 22,000 were filled this month alone. But drivers we spoke with say it hasn't been a smooth ride.
Yeah, it's been pretty bad, to be honest. I hit a pothole every like 10-15 minutes.
I actually blew a tire and broke a rim. Cost me $700 on Dufferin by Shepherd.
Those on two wheels have been feeling the pain too. There is staff specifically dedicated to addressing potholes and bike lanes.
Sometimes you just end up into a pothole and there are cars actually driving very fast on your left side. And it's dangerous.
If you've been seeing more mini pits on the roads this year, there's a reason. A really cold